What's up, tribe? This is Basketball Wives, season 4, episode 4, I guess. This episode ain't really give me a whole lot. This episode was all about Jennifer being messy. Jennifer, stay the fuck out of everybody else's business, because everything that happened on this episode was your fault. Everything. We start off the episode where we left off last week with Jackie and Evelyn arguing over the fucking GoFundMe page. I ain't even watched last season, and I'm over this bullshit with the GoFundMe page. Like, I'm sick of it my damn self. Jennifer was trying to have a kumbaya, word of the week, a kumbaya moment and bring all the girls together. First, she wanted Tammy and Evelyn to make up. Then she wanted Then Tammy brought Jackie into the conversation to prove her point or whatever. And it just ended up in a big ass argument where basically everybody was like, all right, let's just be done with it. Okay, we done. Are you done? Yeah, I'm done. We done. Done. It's done. It's done. Fuck, like, are we in elementary school? So Tammy's like, look, let me get up out of here before Evelyn feels the need to throw something and I feel the need to whoop her ass. And Tammy exits stage left. So then we see OG and Kristen get into it. OG is really trying to get camera time. First, she show up in this ugly ass, tacky ass fucking outfit that look a hot damn mess. Everybody else is bundled up, got on sweaters, wrapped up. Tammy was wrapped up in a fucking towel and all this other shit. Jackie got on a turtleneck, but you walking around in a daggone bikini with your ass hanging out, talking about, I'm actually hot. No, you're not, bitch. You're cold. You cold as hell. You're cold. But you committed to this outfit because you're trying to get some camera time. And you sacrificed. You probably was in bed the whole next week with a cold. Because your ass, you had to be cold. Anyway, her and Kristen get into it because Kristen was like, look, I'm going to need you to slow your roll. You don't know these people. You don't know their history. Don't insert yourself in a situation that don't have nothing to do with you. And I guess OG was a little bit embarrassed because she was just like, you know, like, who you talking to, and you can leave. And Kristen was like, you know what, I can, and I will. So she gets up to leave. OG gonna follow behind her talking about, I mean, well, what's the problem? Like, I feel like, you know, what's going on? And Kristen was like, you know, I felt like you was really inserting yourself in a situation that didn't have nothing to do with you. And OG was like, I don't know. Anyway, OG went back and forth with her, told her she sounded stupid, and Kristen was like, well, I have a degree, I'm not stupid. And OG was like, well, I have two. And y'all know, I already told y'all how I feel about people acting like just because they smart. Just because they have a degree means they smart. You having a degree ain't got shit to do with you being smart. I promise you it don't. I know a whole lot of people with degrees and they dumb as hell. And vice versa. I know a whole lot of people that didn't go to college and they smart as hell. So one don't have nothing to do with the other. And Kristen calls OG a bitch, and she's like, don't call me out my name. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, Kristen gets ready to go. She was like, well, I'm just going to go back home to my husband and my kid. And she was like, well, where is your husband? She was like, with my kid. OG going to talk about something. Is he? Like, that real condescending, as if to insinuate that that ain't where he is. First of all, bitch, if you know something about my husband, say what you got to say. If not, shut the fuck up. Because we're not playing that game. And Kristen leaves. Then we see Shawnee with Miles shopping for a place for her weed business. Now, let me say this. I ain't going to spend a whole lot of time on this. All right, Shawnee, you going to open up a weed business. That's cool. It's lucrative. I ain't mad at you. Make that money, boo. But you got Miles in there, and Miles already talking about setting up an illegal smoking lounge. You done already had to tell him twice, you can't do that, that's illegal. And then you talking about something, I think he would be really great running a business. He just told you he trying to set up some illegal shit in the basement or in the back room or whatever, and you still think this is the best situation? Okay, Shawnee. Talking about something, we waiting for our license to be approved. Now that they see this shit, it won't get approved with them watching Miles talking about opening up, having the basement, have a lounge in the basement where they can smoke, knowing that's illegal. Anyway, I'm done with that one. Then we see Kristen, Evelyn, and Jennifer, I think, get together, and they just recapping what happened at the party, and they were like, well, what happened with you and OG? And Kristen, went on to kind of explain how that whole thing went down or whatever. And Jennifer was just like, here we go again. Jennifer was like, I just want everybody to just get along, and Evelyn's like, no, like, that's probably never going to happen. Like, let it go. And Jennifer was like, they trying to make me to be the messy one, and I ain't messy. I don't have a messy bone in my body. Yes, you do, and you are. This whole situation is you being messy. Then we see Kristen with some family time. She wants a baby. First of all, she spent 3 minutes complaining about how busy she is, but then talk about she want another baby. Anyway. Her husband is like, nah, we ain't ready. Like, we don't know if we can afford the one we got. Like, we got to pay for this. He already in college talking about something. We already got one college tuition. I'm like, dang, is she even in daycare yet? You worried about college? Like, but Kristen is like, she wants a boy. And she spends the rest of the episode talking about wanting a boy. Then we have Christy and Doug on date night. And they go salsa dancing. And, of course, she's talking about how sexy it is. And, I just feel like it was something to fill time. It was cute, whatever. Then we see Tammy and Shawnee hook up. And once again, it comes up that Jennifer repeated to Shawnee what Tammy had told her about being upset with Shawnee about her laughing at the jokes or not laughing at the jokes or whatever. And Tammy was like, here we go again with Jennifer, messy ass. Like, here come your name again. Me and Shawnee are good. Me and Shawnee are cool. And if I feel like I need to talk to Shawnee, I will talk to Shawnee. I don't need your help. I don't need you going back and forth relaying messages. But Shawnee, cleared the air and was like, I don't want you to ever feel like I'm not there to support you because I am, and I'm sorry, if you felt like that's how that went down. One thing I love about Tammy is Tammy stood in her shit. Like, she didn't back down from it. She was like, yeah, I said it, and that's how I felt, But they were able to talk it out and, come to a pretty good conclusion. Oh, Shawnee was at the little sit down with Evelyn and Kristen where they were giving the recap of what happened. And so that came up too, Shawnee was like, well, I heard about the pool party. And Tammy was like, really? What did you hear? And so she got the whole recap of the whole Evelyn, that whole thing that went down with her and Evelyn. And, Tammy was like, Jennifer is just fucking messy. Like, she in my conversation. Like, it's just, she messy. And Tammy got her good eye on Jennifer's ass. You know what I'm saying? The OG thing came up. And Tammy ain't take the bait. Tammy was like, oh, really? When Shawnee was talking about how she was dressed in her outfit. And Tammy was like, well, I can't be talking about nobody else's breast. Because, my breast, when I take my bra off. She made a joke of it. But she was like, you ain't going to pull me into that. And she didn't really participate in no bashing of anybody, really. Then we see Kristen and her husband go out on date night, and they're talking about this the first date they've had in a long time, and it looked like it's a real cute place they went to. It's like a mixology place where they show you how to make drinks, and then I guess you just sit there and drink the drinks. I don't know. But she encouraging him to drink, and she's like, maybe I'll get my baby, if he get drunk. Again, just a filler scene. I don't really feel like they was giving us a whole lot. Then we see Jennifer, Shawnee, and Tammy meeting up at a little makeup shop or whatever. And basically Tammy lets Jennifer know, don't do that shit no more. Like, I done already told you that me and Evelyn's situation is cool the way it is. Like, we're cool with not being friends. Both of us agree that's the best thing for us. Leave it alone. Like, let that shit go. Leave it alone. Stop trying to stop trying to make nice. Stop trying to do the whole kumbaya thing. And Jennifer is like, well, I'm just tired of being stuck in the middle of my friends, and I just wish we could all just be friends and be happy. And Tammy's like, leave the shit alone. Stop being messy. And Jennifer's still going. She's still going. She's still going. So finally, Shawnee had to tell Jennifer, Tammy's giving you the leave the shit alone face. Like, I done said what I said and I'm done with it face. So there was that. Like I said, it wasn't really a whole lot, y'all. It just wasn't a lot there for me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe something was said that I ain't getting. The deepest part of the episode, though, was Jackie dealing with, I feel like before the season's over, Jackie maybe try to sit down with her other daughter and maybe try to work some things out. There's a scene with Jackie and her the daughter that she speaks to, Sanaya, and her granddaughter, and they have the whole conversation of they're talking about the other daughter and the GoFundMe and how that whole thing went down, and the daughter was like, well, you weren't really affectionate with us. Like, you were really hard on us. You were really, and she was like, well, I was hard on you because I needed to be, and don't you appreciate it now? And you tell the daughter's kind of hesitant, like, not really. Like, and, she was like, you were really hard on us unnecessarily. Like, and Jackie was like, it came up that she was saying that she didn't hug them a lot. She wasn't really affectionate with them. And Jackie was like, yeah, but you didn't really want me to be. You weren't really an affectionate person. You and your sister, y'all weren't really affectionate, type girls. And her daughter was like, how do you know that? Like, you speaking for me. How do you know I'm not an affectionate person? How do you know I didn't want a hug? And I think Jackie really started to think about it. Jackie was like, that hurts to hear your daughter say you didn't show her enough affection and you weren't affectionate enough with her. She's like, that kind of hurt. She was like, and I always felt like I was giving them what they needed. And that's why I said I feel like that maybe she'll be open to a conversation with the other daughter for them to maybe hash some things out. We find out later on in the episode, Jackie goes to therapy. Now, in the therapy session, she talks about her childhood, and she ended up having to go into foster care. She talks about her mom did. She was like, her mom did some things and had to go away, so it's not like her mama went to jail. And she says that in that time period, she went to, her and her brothers and sisters went to foster care. And she said that is where she learned that she had to sort of be in control of situations. She overheard them talking about the food and how they were going to control the food and keep the food away from them, and they could only eat at certain times. And she said, I never forgot that. And I realized that, I had to control the situation. And her therapist is like, you can't enjoy something when you always have to be in control. Like, you can't enjoy it. And she was like, you're right, And it was funny because her therapist started preaching. Like, she sounded like she was getting ready to get behind the pulpit for a minute. It got loud and voice started getting a sort of canter to it like the preachers do and stuff. And I was like, what kind of therapist is this? That she is, you know what I mean? Like, she about to throw some anointed oil on Jackie. But I think it was a good session. I think Jackie is hearing some things and realizing some things and maybe learning some things about herself. And so it's a process. And she said that she knows it's a process. She said, it took a lot for her to get there. And you could tell she was nervous and everything. And she said, I wanted to run out of there and call my husband, but I didn't. I stuck with it. I hope she continues to go back, and I hope she continues to process, because Jackie clearly is special. But people are the way they are for a reason. And, dealing with foster care, feeling abandoned, going through all of that, there's a lot to that. There's some layers there that maybe, again, y'all know I don't know the whole Christy, the Jackie Christy story. So, but there sounds like there are a lot of layers to that. We see Shawnee talking to her mother, letting her know, look, Mama, I'm going to be selling weed. I just don't want you to find out from nowhere else. I don't want you to, hear from the people down at the church. Because, church people smoke weed too. And they might tell you that they was down at my shop getting they fix. And I just want you to hear from me first. And that was pretty much, that's pretty much all that was. Then we see the last little bit that happens is Malaysia, Evelyn, Jenn. And here go Jenn, stirring up the pot. She's picking up Malaysia, and she wants Malaysia and Evelyn to sit down and talk because she wants them to get along, because they seem to have tension with them because of Jackie. And I know that you have your I know that you're loyal to to Jackie, but there's no reason why you and Evelyn can't be cool. And so they sit down and talk, and Evelyn was like, I never really had a problem with her. And Malaysia was like, I ain't never really had a problem with you either, other than your problem with Jackie. And Jackie's my girl, and I'm a ride for her. And Evelyn was like, yeah, my only beef with you has always just been the black cloud. And you might not see her as a black cloud, but I see her as a black cloud. And you see Malaysia is feeling uncomfortable because she done already told you that's her girl and she ride with her. So I'm really not here for you. And then she said she kind of felt some kind of way about the whole happy ending thing too. But of course, Evelyn said, well, I apologize for that. And I'm sorry for that misunderstanding. But, I really want to be cool with you. And so that seemed to kind of work out. Again, Jen, you was being messy because you set that scenario up, but it worked out in your favor this time. They seemed to kind of work that out. But that's really all that this episode was really giving me. Like I said, the most poignant thing that happened in this episode was the whole Jackie thing, with her realizing that maybe she needs to process and maybe she needs to do some therapy and do some work, because she said that she's just angry and she really wants to process and not just be angry anymore, which I think is a good thing. So anyway, y'all drop it in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.